Hi, I'm Chinwe. In this podcast, I am thrilled to bring you an incredible lineup of guests, ordinary women who have harnessed their struggles into powerful transformations. No matter your background or backstory, their experiences will resonate with you and will inspire you to let go of the limiting narratives shaped by your circumstance, upbringing, or past programming. We can all achieve greater freedom and happiness in our everyday lives, and my guests are here to tell you how. So, come on, let's dive into season 2 of Beyond 9 to 5. Hi, today we have a guest who is truly inspiring. 5 years ago, she took a bold leap to move from Belarus to the UK, where she wanted to set up her gut health practice, and she did. She saw, she believed she could, and she did. But her passion for gut health actually isn't just her profession. It's a powerful response to her own health journey. And now she's on a mission to empower other women with the knowledge and insights that can change their lives. I can't wait for you to chat with her, or for me to chat with her, so you can listen in. Please welcome Anna Shelomentseva.
Thank you. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Anna. Well, lovely to see you. It's quite wet outside, isn't it? Like, it's raining.
But we can brighten it up.
Yes. I feel like I needed like 2 seconds there to kind of catch my breath and, get back into the mood and everything. So very lovely of you to be on the podcast with me today. I'm so honored and privileged because I know you have got such an inspiring story, and I'm so glad that you're happy to share it with me and our viewers and audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you moved from Belarus 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What were your expectations of that transition, and what were your experiences? Expectations versus experiences,
and reality.
The reality of things.
So I was quite excited, obviously, but to be honest with you, I didn't expect something specific. It was just I was open-minded. I still am. Yes. And I was curious to explore new opportunities. Yeah. And the truth is when you're changing countries, moving in, nobody is waiting for you.
Yeah.
So
that is so true.
Yeah. So you need to set up your own opportunities. You need to create opportunities for yourself. And it's not a short period of time, right? It takes time to create, to build your space, to set up your new routine. I think not a lot of people are thinking about it, but even like small choices we are making every day, it can be quite stressful. What type of milk you're buying? What is your grocery store? What is your, similar things.
Travel, commuting.
Yes. So all these kind of things. So I should say the first couple of years were quite challenging, not only because of the professional path, but also in creating a new routine to exist.
Yeah. Did you have friends here already when you came?
Just one. So it was a lovely coincidence that my childhood friend, Xenia, she was living here already for 8 years, and we were friends since our teens years. And it's just a coincidence that when I moved here, she was here already. So it was such a great gift to have her.
Exactly, because some people do move when they relocate to a different country. They're quite literally alone. But you having that one familiar face at least would have been very, very helpful, isn't it? Yeah. And you tell me a little bit about how you started in gut health, because you're so passionate about it, so well read, so well educated about gut health, and it sounds like a lot of what you did even before you got into it led you to this place, isn't it? So tell me a bit about how you got into it.
Yeah. So I graduated from Belarusian Medical State University, and I studied at the Faculty of Preventive Medicine, which is very unusual. Especially for the UK. Because they don't have it here. No. So actually a lot of my colleagues now are surprised, oh, what is this faculty? But it was a Faculty of Preventive Medicine. And I'm coming from a medical family, so both of my parents are doctors. And I was quite different from the beginning because I didn't want to go to real like medical stuff, I was like really stuck with this quote, prevent is better than to cure. And I'm like, that's what I would like to do.
So much sense, yes.
Yeah, but it was like almost 17 years ago when I was entering medical university, and it wasn't a world full of wellness and biohacking on all this gut trends. It wasn't a thing. So I seem to be quite crazy to believe that it will be like, what, prevention? But I was really passionate about it. And I was curious how to actually prevent diseases, how to diagnose in the beginning. So all these kind of things. And a big part of my studies at the medical university where was microbiology. So I've studied it for like plenty of hours, I think like 2 to 3 years at least. And it wasn't, again, gut health wasn't on trend, but I gained a lot of deep knowledge about it while I was studying in the medical university. So it was like a first milestone, let's say, like this. And after, so actually I had a kind of a dark chapter of building my professional journey, but it's okay now because I see it from a different perspective. After I've graduated, I spent time in the internship. I went to work for a pharmaceutical company. And that was quite an experience, I should say.
Tell me more. Tell me a bit more.
Because I was thinking about like, I will be helping doctors to stay updated about new regulations, about new medications, all these kind of things. But I didn't realize it's more about sales rather than
profits
medicine.
and sales.
Yes. But that was a place, and I'm really grateful for the experience I had while I was working in the pharmaceutical industry, to be like inside it and to learn from it and to actually learn how to make sales, how to create deals, how this industry is working from inside, right?
Yes.
So now I know, and I came back to the bright side.
Because I believe, I'm sure you probably agree, that no experience or skill is ever wasted.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
At the very least, a lot of the times you would learn either something new or something you know for sure you don't like, and you're not going to make the same mistakes or go back there, or you learn who you are through every experience, isn't it? And it doesn't always have to be completely positive. Even the seemingly negative ones leave us with lessons.
And I still think that we need drugs as a humanity.
Yes.
We survived because of the drugs development. So I'm not like blaming the industry, but it's pros and cons, right?
Yes, pros and cons, yes.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that I know how it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
I
think that probably actually informed your move next in terms of your career, because I know you're quite particular about balancing traditional medicine and holistic care. How then did you get into gut health?
So
specifically,
I realized that I'm not serving my inner purpose while doing this wonderful job in the pharmaceutical industries. So I realized that actually gut health was becoming a trend, and I'm like, I have plenty of knowledge about it. So I took some courses, upgraded my knowledge, and I was really getting back on track with all the preventive medicine thing. I gained my first clients, and I actually left pharmaceutical company and set up my practice before moving in.
You mean before moving to the UK?
Yeah. Okay. But it was not a big amount of clients. And obviously when I moved here, I realized that I want to expand my practice and to work with English-speaking people, and that also it was a time when I realized that I'm missing something in my practice, because I was throwing a lot of my knowledge, passion during my consultations on my clients, and I can clearly see that they were overwhelmed with all this information. And I'm like, okay, so I'm giving a really good advices, but for some reason it's hard to follow them with the people. And I realized that I'm missing the coaching part, and that's why it was actually a big milestone again for me to expand my practice and to gain new knowledge about health coaching, right? Because I usually say, you can say very important and serious things about, I don't know, broccoli and radish, but it won't change the person's life.
Yes, exactly.
Unless you will provide them with a tool how to implement your great advice, your smart advice in their life.
Yeah.
You need to know their lifestyle and all these kind of things.
You need to give them a bigger reason
Yeah.
to do that. And I know as doctors, it often feels like the reason they come to see us is because they have this problem or that problem. But even those problems have a bigger impact. And sometimes those problems are driven by other bigger impacts.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that approach. And I wish that was a standard thing in clinical practice.
Yeah.
Where, when patients come to see us, we kind of have the opportunity to adopt sort of that approach in terms of coaching them. I can see the challenges there, both sides, because some patients may not be expecting it, may not want it, or may not be up for it. But I think it's still important to have that option. The other challenge potentially could be that there are no resources, because if you're a GP here in the UK and you've literally got 10 minutes to see a patient, there's no room for that. But at Digest Club London, that's your practice, isn't it? You take on this traditional combination of traditional medicine and coaching and holistic functional medicine. Do you see opportunities where those two could coexist? I know you do it in your practice, but just in general, where are the opportunities for traditional medicine and functional medicine to come together?
I truly believe that we are heading into this direction, obviously, and it takes longer than expected, but we're still going. And I think there is a place where, for example, GP can be educated about functional medicine tests.
Yes.
And to gain knowledge about it and how to implement in their practice. And as you said, I do not blame GPs. They have only 10 minutes, literally, for everything. It's not a mistake of the doctor. It's how healthcare system works for now. Yeah. It's a system. So you have only 10 minutes to do everything you need to do. And let's be honest, it's not enough.
Possible. Yeah.
And usually when I'm talking with my clients and they're like, oh, but my GP didn't ask about this and you're asking about this. And I'm like, yes, but I don't blame them. It's not about finding a guilty person in the room. Yeah. It's about taking your own responsibility, how I can connect dots about my own health. Yeah. So to connect dots about person's health, we need to come together, traditional medicine and holistic approach, because sometimes it's, for example, too late and the person needs to take this drug. And it's just one solution. And I don't want to demonize this kind of solution. But in plenty of cases, we do have an opportunity to do it holistically, to treat person as a whole without going into the serious medications, to take them for the lifetime period. There is a space. So I see functional medicine as a link between traditional and holistic approaches. Because if you're going, can you be too spiritual? I'm not sure. But if you're going, if you're going mad about these kind of things, for me, again, it's not right. It's all about balance. So, but we need to sit and speak what will be the balance, how the balance will look like, right? Where is the golden standard? I used to have an internship for a couple of months in a integrative clinic in London, and I really liked our morning routine where we're sitting down and discussing the patients we will have in the upcoming day, and we were discussing not only their condition but also their emotional well-being. Are they living alone? Are they stressed? So, all these things coming together. And that's what I'm doing in my practice. I'm not about only analyzing your blood test results or your stool test. It's fascinating, obviously, but it's just a tool I use to gain knowledge about you. But I'll ask questions about your emotional well-being, about your stress levels, about your trauma.
And what the patient wants or the client wants out of the consultation, because I think we sometimes assume what they're looking for, right? Yeah. I know personally I've been, consulting sometimes, and we're discussing something really heavy. There's this child's, because I'm a pediatrician, so there's this child's diagnosis and things, and sometimes I'm looking at mom and I'm thinking, she has other concerns right here, right, as well as everything else, and where we're sort of landing this huge plan, her plan might be just literally, how am I going to get the other kids from school? Who's going to help me with all of this? I'm alone, I'm a single mom, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of that is missed in your standard consultation and protocol, isn't
how
it?
you question your client.
Yes, so I think that there's a responsibility all around. But actually, the other thing I was going to say is that I think that there's a responsibility on the individual, the patient or client themselves, right?
Yeah.
But I think half the time there's not enough of education. A lot of people don't actually know that these things should be done, or that these things are accessible.
Yeah.
Right? So do you think that there is a drive? There should be something in terms of driving the public themselves to
Yeah, I think like the education is a key. It's a missing part of the puzzle.
A huge part
because
of the puzzle.
I always tell my clients, my students in Digest Club, that if the person doesn't understand why you are giving them this advice, they won't follow. The success rate of following this advice will be so lower when the person understands why. This is how your body works. This is why you need, 8 glasses of water during the day. This is why you need to do strength training, because this is how your body works. And they have this link in their mind between, I'm doing this because it's serving this purpose in my body and it will bring me more energy. Because a lot of people still don't connect dots between their energy levels and their lifestyle choices.
It's interesting. It feels, I know, I don't know, is it a human thing, or is it just that we're so distracted with life that we don't actually sit down long enough to make those connections?
Yeah.
I have to admit, even personally, with all of my medical training and all, I've always been very health conscious, right from as a teenager. But it did take a bit of getting off the hamster wheel for me to stop long enough to start really making the links between my lifestyle choices, my jobs, what I eat, how I sleep, and how it's impacting on my life. And I knew that on a textbook level, and I would say to patients all the time, or the family and advice, actually refocusing that on myself and then putting it into action took a little bit of slowing down long enough. The headspace needed to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you find that with your patients that there's an element of lack of headspace issue there for a lot of them?
And a lot of my clients, for some reason, are overachievers. And they are trying to speed up things rather than slow down. Yes. And I'm like, no. We'll take one step.
I can imagine me having a conversation with you like 5-10 years ago. I'll be like, what do you mean slow down?
Are you crazy?
Should we not be getting to this health benefits quick enough?
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling people.
So what do you mean by slow down, really?
Taking one step at a time. Because by giving all these great advices, and if you want the person start them following on Monday, they will be exhausted by Wednesday. They will hate you by Wednesday. They will have a guilt.
Yes.
And we don't want our clients to have guilt because it's a very destructive feeling. So one step at a time. You finished with this, we are prioritizing. And for me, as a doctor, as a health coach, it's really important to prioritize things. Okay, so we have, I'm calling usually is a thing like health roadmap for my client. So we are here, right? We are heading into this direction. And I do believe it's a journey. It's not from point A to point B. It's a journey. So what should I prioritize for my client to deliver results, to deliver great feeling about yourself, doing something for your health? And what will be our next stop? And I want to show my client this journey. And that's why actually a while ago, I've stopped giving just one-on-one consultation and that's it. I usually sign in contracts for at least 3 months because I want the person to see changes. And it's your commitment to work with me. And to actually work for yourself. Because I can tell you a lot of great things. I can give you a really smart advice. Will you follow it? It's on you.
Yeah, true. Do you train people? Do you train other nutritionists or gut health specialists as well?
Yeah. So
really?
I'm doing it. I'm really passionate about education, and I think I'm really good at it. And I was lecturing at the college in London for a couple of years. And after I left, I've established my own educational community, online community, Digest Club. And it's for nutritional therapists, health coaches, fitness trainers, wellness professionals. So I'm providing supervision sessions, like mentoring sessions, and case studies. I'm inviting guest speakers on numerous topics. My mission is to provide a safe space to ask questions. Because I realized once you've graduated, you have this all knowledge. You are like in practice, first of all. And where is a safe space to ask question about, for example, a complex client case, or what type of blood test you should order, or how you can navigate the stool test results? Where are you asking questions?
That's so, oh my goodness, that is so important, because especially if you're a solo practitioner.
And 90% of wellness professionals are self-employed.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is that I want to build a really powerful community. It's about collaboration. It's not about competition.
Yeah. And learning.
Yes, and learning. And we can only learn by asking questions. Even with my clients, I'm saying them, so you were prescribed this and this. Why? I didn't ask. I'm like, why? There is an art of asking questions from both sides, for clients to gain knowledge about their health, and for us as the practitioners, as the doctors, coaches. And I'm usually say for my students at Digest Club, ask questions, especially like 80% of your initial consultation with your client should be about them. And it's you asking and listen. Because usually I know what kind of protocol I will assign to. Oh, and listen, probably the real issue is not here yet.
Yes.
It's not even a part of this discussion.
It takes several consultations to get to the bottom of it, isn't it? And if you're not probing and asking, probing in a good way, and asking the right questions, and being patient as well with the process, isn't it? Then you miss the point. And that's usually where things go awry a little bit, isn't it? Where patients or clients suddenly feel like they're not making progress, because sometimes it comes down to you and the patient not being aligned in your mission, because you're not quite on the same page. With gut health, and this may be an obvious question, right? Is your gut health related in any way to your mental health?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a one-way ticket.
It's a one, honestly. So tell us why. Tell me why.
So first of all, there are several researches that were showing that there is a link between certain bacteria present in the gut and depression and anxiety disorders. So the more type of bacteria of this certain bacteria you have, more likely you will develop this condition. And our brain and our gut, they have like a bidirectional link. And we are actually communicating from our gut to our brain. So I think it's still quite not clear if our number one brain is located here or there in the gut. That's why I think we are using gut feeling.
Gut feeling, yes. Yeah.
So it's actually influencing our food choices, our eating behavior, our mood, right? So how we are taking care of our gut is actually, it's affecting our quality of life. I'll put it this way.
Ladies, pause for a moment and imagine this. A circle of women, strong, talented, wise and powerful, all in one place, ready to support you through tough times and to celebrate the good ones too. Picture a safe space where you can truly be yourself. A sisterhood that lifts you up, empowers you, and where we can share invaluable experiences with each other. Now, what if I can tell you that circle is right in your hands? Introducing Health Mary app. Health, well-being and lifestyle solutions for women by women. All you have to do is download the app. It's free and it's all the girl power you need. Is it true that that a lot of people are in fact intolerant of lactose? I'm asking, from a medical perspective, I know that, we were taught that in school, but do you find that in your practice that it's quite common, and that you would normally, do you look at that particular
Yeah. I look at this. I look also at gluten intolerance and celiac disease, and I think all these intolerances are on the rise. Yes, unfortunately, I think it's because of not our immune system conditions overall, but also it's regarding our food industry and what type of food we're eating, and our gut is not so quick at adjusting to these things, right? And that's why we have a rise of these intolerances, right? So the more, I don't want to say clean nutrition, the more simple versions of food you're eating, usually the healthier gut you will have.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not afraid of saying clean, clean food. That's my own personal. I don't know what the sort of general description of it is, but the way I talk about it is clean food.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, as natural as possible, back to the basics as it was meant to be. But I honestly think that you're right. There is some level of micro inflammation that does happen when you're ingesting something that is not really meant to be in your
and
gut.
we're overwhelmed with this.
And we're overwhelmed with it. Every bite has one of those little things. I guess it'll take another, I don't know, week to discuss how we can get rid of these toxins in our diet. But generally, what would be a simple strategy for somebody who is looking to be, like I call it, clean? It's not really a known term, guys, by the way. That's my own description. But for somebody who wants to go clean, what would be a simple strategy for them?
Yeah, I'll make a note about clean. So I'm avoiding it because there is a condition called orthorexia when people are obsessed with eating only healthy food. And it's quite, we can call it an eating disorder. So that's why I don't want to trigger this.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, but by saying clean, and what will be, usually people think that, to have a good gut health, I really should have a restrictive diet. I do not agree with that. Healthy gut is about diversity. So the more diverse you can go, and I'm not talking about different types of donuts now.
Strawberry donuts, raspberry donuts.
No, we're not here. I'm talking about a very diverse diet, like different type of vegetables, different type of proteins. The more type of bacteria you can feed, the more benefits you will receive from them. Because by eating only broccoli, which sounds lovely, you can't be healthy because it's only certain type of bacteria which is growing up on this wonderful broccoli.
How would one find a good place, a good practitioner like yourself safely? Because there are quite a few practices or practitioners out there, and I personally, when I look, it's hard to tell who is as qualified as possible. So if I was just in my sitting room now thinking, I need to get help with this, I need a coach or someone like you. Obviously, you guys can, find Anna's links and everything else in the description below. But if people were generally looking for one, who and what should they be looking for?
It's a really great question. Thank you for asking. I'm actually creating a webinar, How to Choose a Nutritionist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so...
See?
Yeah, we're clicked
I didn't just make up that problem.
Yeah, because a lot of people are overwhelmed. Like, everyone is so confident on social media. And I'm usually...
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm usually quite scared if the specialist is present on social media all the time. But for example, I know really good busy practitioners, and even me, I have like sometimes 8 to 9 hours of consultations during the day. The last thing, honestly guys, I want to do in the end of my day to turn on my camera and to talk about gut health. No, that's not who I am in the end of the day. So I'm quite scared if the person is so present and talking all day long about clients' cases and like testimonials, all these kind of things on social media. And my question is, do you actually work?
Do you have time for the job?
I know. It's another part of a deal that nowadays, not like you should be present on social media. But I would suggest to have, first of all, a discovery call. And a lot of balance practitioners now are offering this, and to ask questions, and not to ask questions about education, which is also important, but to ask questions, can you talk me through how you will treat this condition, how my plan will look? And for example, for me, one of the red flag I can name will be like a lot of supplementations, like supplements can be overprescribed, same with drugs. Hello, pharmaceutical industry. And what will be, how you will support me, what will be the outcome. So ask questions. Again, it's about the art of asking questions and to see if you really click with a person's energy. Because some people are just not your type, and that's okay. And that's okay.
That's true. Speaking of social media, I think it's very important for women, ordinary women. And I say ordinary, not because I think anybody where anybody is more ordinary or less ordinary than anybody else, but you're everyday women, real women. And I say real, not I need to think about qualifying my words, but you know what I mean, all of us as women to show up in our various shapes, forms, sizes, ambitions, point of view. I think we should all show up as our authentic selves on social media and not to shy away from having a presence on there, especially when it comes to expressing what healthy should look like or feel like, right? Because otherwise there is a single narrative running and there's not a lot of people balancing that out. Do you agree? Do you think that, more, in quotes, ordinary people should be online talking about what healthy looks like?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And also, I want to see the day when we won't be judging person's health by physical appearance.
Yes.
Because I have some of a personal story here. Because I used to be nearly anorexic. So it was like a classic anorexia. But I was really, really skinny in my teens years, in my 20s. And I was overwhelmed by society and social norms and comments I was hearing about myself. Oh, she's so skinny, she's a witch. Oh, she's so skinny, she doesn't need to eat anything. And it hurts, first of all. And I think now, because I wasn't diagnosed, I had some kind of an eating disorder, but it's like a history now because it was a while ago. But yeah, I was very skinny. Was I healthy? Not at all. Yeah. And I hate when people are judging person's health by physical appearance. Oh, you look skinny. You didn't see my blood test result. And as a woman, I had, as a girl, in my 20s and my teens years, I had a terrible period pain. I was struggling with many issues, but I was skinny.
Skinny but not healthy. I'm sure you probably didn't feel the energy or the active. I totally get it, because I think it's so important that we talk about this, isn't it? Not only on this podcast, but also online. I think that there is something to be said about the visuals, right? So even if you're not online talking about health, the fact that a teenager could swipe their phone and they'll see different types of women, doing different things, and being successful, being challenged, being uncomfortable. Those things should show up. And one of the reasons why I'm saying this is because a lot of my friends tend to shy away from social media. And I'm not talking about people who are on social media because of their businesses. I'm talking about people who are, they don't have any business that needs to go on social media. And I tend to disagree with them. I tend to say that you should get an Instagram account. You should get, and show up however you, because a lot of our young people spend their time, a lot of their time on there.
And it's your tone of voice.
It's your tone of voice.
How you want to be presented in this world. Yeah. And it's a great opportunity. We can blame social media, and definitely social media is still promoting skinny look as a healthiest one. I have questions about that. But again, on the opposite side, social media is a great tool to use, not only to grow your business, but speak up, to be loud about what is going on in your life, if you want to be loud about it, to gain other person's opinion. We are living in society. We can't avoid it. So to use social media as a great tool, why not?
Yeah, totally. Introducing Health Mary app. Health, well-being and lifestyle solutions for women by women. Download the app. It's free and it's all the girl power you need. Do you think that there is something to be said about your sort of ethnic or biological sort of your genetics in terms of what you eat, right? Because I've heard that, say, because I'm originally African, right? And I am African, not originally African. What the hell? What I meant is I grew up in Nigeria, right? And I had a certain diet up until when I came to the UK. And so I originally lived in Africa, and obviously when I came to the UK, my diets changed a lot. Thinking back, I think I probably struggled with that. Now, my sister just relocated to the UK, and she literally 2-3 weeks ago said the same thing to me, that she's finding that not having the same diet she had when she was at home might be causing a few problems for her. Do you think there's a thing there?
Yeah, and it's a great book that I can recommend to read on this subject. It's called Deep Nutrition.
All right.
So it's about the link between our genes and our nutrition style. And also, regarding genetics, I recently finished my master's course in nutrigenomics and St. Mary's, which was fascinating. I really happy I did that. I think about genetics as again, our roadmap to health, but it's not defining us. But we need to know what inside our genes, what our predispositions, so we can navigate from here. So I'm thinking about knowing your genetics. It's 20% on your health, 15 to 20 depends on your genes. 80% is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But knowing your fundamentals will shape your lifestyle.
Yeah. And the fundamentals you talk about, has it got anything to do with your ethnic background or
Absolutely.
your
Also and a lot of also are you predisposed to have deficiency in this vitamin, or are you predisposed to this, and usually people can't write these results. They're that means I will have insomnia. No, it means you are predisposed to develop insomnia if you won't be following this. But it's again, I hate when people are looking for the quick fixes, but they're still looking for them.
Which is fair enough.
Yes,
but some things aren't quick fixes, isn't it? Some things aren't. There will be young women watching this podcast, wondering, well, where do I start? How do I make a self-assessment about where my health is? Because it's not always how you look, and what would you say to them? In terms of looking internally, how do I know that I'm and I need to make changes?
So I suggest to start with your energy levels. Are you feeling energized in the morning? Are you still energized in the afternoon? How are you going through the day? I will definitely see how your skin looks like, because it's a mirror of our gut. How often do you go to the toilet? So it should be regular. Bowel movements are actually defining our health as well. What is happening with your period? Is it regular? So probably you actually can think also about your sexual drive, if we're thinking about hormones, right?
Yeah.
What is going on there? So it's not, some of them are inconvenient questions to ask yourself, but it's not about inches, about physical appearance, energy levels, your sleep, your period pain, or you should not have it. So
I think even things like your brain, like your concentrate, how well can you focus and concentrate on things?
Pay attention to things.
Yes.
So different things that you can create a list and to track them for a while, and to say, oh, actually, I always want to have a nap in the afternoon. And I can't blame you. But if it's ongoing thing, you need to address it. Bowel movements, periods, skin appearance, all these type of things. But for me, energy is a main drive, I should say. If I'm not energized, something is off.
Yeah. And from the perspective of a businesswoman, because you have all of this experience from a medical and science point of view, but you in a way need to translate that into a platform, a business, and a practice where you can see clients and train people. Have you had challenges there? Because I know in medical school nobody actually teaches you how to run a business, isn't it?
No, they did not.
So what have your challenges been there in terms of creating a practice?
So I'm an overcontroller.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, I have to say, but yes.
But it's a bad thing if you have your own business, and it's very hard for me to delegate. So to build a trust and to actually, for example, I'm not good as a social strategy, right? Social media strategy, or I'm not good with numbers, so I need to have an accountant, right? So, but to delegate these things, for me, I'm always can't I do it myself?
I could do that myself. Yes.
But the biggest lesson I've learned being while I am self-employed for 7 years now, 8, 7, that's a beautiful number, 7, that the rest is a part of the business process.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're working for yourself, it's Saturday night, I'm but I can improve my website. But I can create a new offer, or I can answer this email. I'm no, I need to rest. And for me, a biggest challenge is to have a negotiation with this.
This yourself.
To have a serious talk. And that's why it's important to have a structure.
Yeah.
Because you're communicating with yourself.
I saw that on your story. It was last night, because I was looking at my Instagram last night, and I saw it on your story. You had a day out with yourself, isn't it? And I thought that was just wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just you're not just talking the talk. You're actually walking the walk and putting all these things.
Yeah. For me, it's really important. Like once in a month, I need to turn off my phone, and I need to be out of the city. Preferably somewhere where we have sun.
Yeah,
it's not always the UK, guys. And I'm spending I'm picking up a nice area. I'm turning off my phone. I'm not answering any messages. I'm just listening to myself, what I want to do, and it's absolutely fine if I want to do nothing.
Yes, yeah,
and it's so powerful. Yeah. And I'm like, after one day, I'm back. I'm like, oh, okay, what's next?
Yeah. Yes, because it's not. The harder you work doesn't necessarily translate to better outcome or better output. It's all about working efficiently. And I think part of working efficiently is interjecting those rest periods, both the big day outs and the tiny ones during the day where you kind of walk away to the water cooler or go grab yourself something to eat and use that as the little breaks that punctuate your day. I think that's useful. Do you read quite a bit?
Yeah, I'm reading, and I'm trying to read less professional books. But sometimes it's challenging. But I do read. Yeah.
Have you read anything recently?
I'm now reading a fascinating book recommended by my therapist. You're the one you've been waiting for.
Right.
So it's psychology.
Okay.
And it's about navigating different parts of yourself inside you and to get to know them and to create a scene in your life for each part of you. So as a daughter, as a mother, as a teacher. So to be present, to be a drama queen, if you are. So to give this opportunity to express yourself in a different ways, which is wow. Yeah. Right,
you must send me the link to this book, because I am going to put it in the description as well, so that if people want to access it, they can have a look. I'm a bit of a reader myself, and I've just been fascinated to hear from my guests throughout season 1 and 2. The kind of books we're all reading, and I do intend to go back and read some of the recommendations on the podcast. So this ought to be interesting. I read a book by Owen O'Kane. And I am so obsessed with this because I can't believe I've forgotten the name of my favorite book in the whole world. Sorry, pause. I'm going to have to go on my book list and find it. Where's my library? 10 Times Happier.
Oh, 10 Times Happier. Wow. How was it? Are you 10 times happier now?
Do you know what? That book was so helpful.
Really?
So helpful. And the other one I would recommend, since we're at it, Where's My Library, is what's the other one? By Matt Walker, While We Sleep.
It's a great read.
Good, yes, that one.
Did you read The Courage to Be Disliked?
No.
It's a really nice book. So I read it, I think 8 years ago, but I see nowadays it's on trend, The Courage to Be Disliked. So it's really, and I think for young women, it's really great read to have. Yeah, it's about, because we are all about seeking approval, validation. Let's be honest. We're seeking likes, we're seeking attention, but it's about how to be disliked and how to be okay with that.
Yeah.
How to be okay with that.
I think that would be a good one. We'll add that as well to my list, guys. I could go on and on, guys, but never mind. Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing I do tend to do on this podcast as well, Anna, is I have this little, I call it an evergreen book.
Yeah.
And in here, I'm asking all of my guests to write a quote, an affirmation, right? And I'm going to read out the quote from the guest before you.
Okay.
We get to have a chat about it and discuss it to see whether we can relate. I think it's interesting that every time somebody's put down their thought in this book, the next person seems to grab onto it. It makes sense. Yeah. And it just feels like we're all
in circle.
Yes, we're all really truly connected in our struggles and our perspectives a bit more than we realize. So this one says from the guest before, it says, "Take every road offered to you, as you'll never know where you'll end up." And this was written in the context of opportunities of embracing embracing opportunities as they come along. What do you think about that? Take every road offered to you, as you'll never know where you will end up.
It resonates with me because I'm the person who is actually saying yes in my life.
Yeah.
Much more often than no. And I'm really curious to see what it will bring, this opportunity, this road. So, yeah, I think it's important to be quite brave and don't be stuck in a certain conditions, even they're really comfortable and you are okay with that. Yeah. If you see that you can follow something, it can bring you so much more fun, at least. Yes. And in the end, it will be a funny story to tell, a great story to tell. And we do love great stories, aren't we? So
it's that being scared, isn't it, of what if you go down this road and it comes to nothing.
You can always come back.
You can always come back, isn't it? And like we just said, no experience is a waste, isn't it?
Yeah,
even those
absolutely.
roads that have taken you down, okay, now you know. Now you're probably not going to go down route again, and
probably you went follow this path, and it prevented you by following
a different one. I mean, those situations also make us creative. It drives your creativity, because if you're stuck in something, you'll be forced to kind of think your way out of it, and develop new skills. And I think it's a win-win. For me, the worst thing is, I think, is not moving, all right? Not taking those steps. It almost doesn't matter which direction or which opportunity it is you take or not. Basically, you need to keep moving. It's my ethos, I think.
Keep moving forward. I have a bracelet with this saying.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that.
Life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep steady, you have to keep moving.
Yeah.
Because, like a bicycle, once you stop pedaling, that's it. You tip over, you're done. But yes, in order to keep moving, you have to keep going.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Anna,
like it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have learned so much today. I will leave a link to your website in the description. Like I said, guys, it is so worth, obviously, because we've got, 60 minutes in this podcast, we've not been able to cover everything. This woman is well educated. She knows what she's doing, and I think it is worth having a look at Digest Club London, especially particularly if you're a nutritionist or if you're a practitioner yourself. That thing about having a professional development platform is so important.
A community.
And a community as well.
Other.
Yeah, it can be so lonely being a solo practitioner, isn't it? Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Truly appreciate it. And yes, we'll see you guys next time.
Yay.
Coming up next week on Beyond 9 to 5.
There's been some statistics that have shown over the years that when people find out that they have a hearing loss, it can take them up to 5 years to take action from the point at which they find out. So they choose to take the news in, but they refuse to take action at that point. It's not always been easy, because I'll be honest with you, I think I had a very slow start. I was not very quick to have the mindset that I could do this. This comes from having a background, say, as obviously being a woman, being black, but that doesn't stop there with me. For me, it's having this scar on my face, which I initially, as a youth or teenager, I used to feel people judge me for, or even the way I spoke, the way I said certain words. I felt that I would always be misjudged or underestimated. So I think that drove that internal locus of control within me, that I am the one who's in charge of my destiny. I am the one who is responsible for taking myself where I want to go. And then further on from that, I went on to have a daughter. It renewed my purpose as well. And I thought, okay, now this is another driver for me. I've got to be the best I can be. I've got to show her that there is nothing she can't stop herself from doing. She can't limit herself.
It's interesting how our children are sometimes that extra fire we need, isn't it?